A very good morning to all my dear children, and I welcome you all for today's class in English language, class 5. And the unit is 13, direct and indirect objects. Okay, children, in this unit, we will see which are the direct and indirect object in the sentences. All right, children. So, you can't wait for life to hand your things. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. Good morning. With this note, let's begin our today's session, children. Okay, first of all, let us see what you mean by direct objects. Okay, now objects means no, children, anything is called as an object. Now, here we can speak about direct object. All right, now we'll see a direct object is a noun. Okay, noun is a name of a person, place, or animal or thing. All right, and then a direct object is a noun. Pronoun is what, children? A noun which is used instead of a pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. Okay, for example, he, she. All right. So, a direct object is a noun, pronoun, or word group. Okay, it's a word group that tells who or what receives the action. What it tells you? Who or what receives the action. So, what is a direct object, children? A direct object is a noun. Okay, pronoun or word group that tells who or what receives the action. Who is receiving the action? Alright, children. So that is called as direct objects. Alright. The next one we will see indirect objects. Okay. In order to find the indirect object, there are two questions you must ask. Okay. In order to find a indirect object, you have to ask two questions to whom? To the sentence. Let us see what are those two questions. Okay. The first one, does the sentence have a direct object? Okay, so I told you what is a direct object. Object which has a noun, pronoun, or a group of word which tells you. Okay, so that does the sentence have a direct object? Then the sentence must have a direct object in order to have a indirect object. Okay, children. Now, in a sentence, there will be a direct object. If there is a direct object, then only you will have a indirect object. All right. So, the sentence must have a direct object in order to have an indirect object. All right, children. Now, next one we will see, that is to whom, to what, for whom, or for what was the action done. All right. So, whether the action is done to whom it is done, to what, okay, for whom it is done, or for what was the action done. Okay. These answer will give you the indirect object. When we get the answer for to whom, to what, for whom, or for what was the action done, these answers will give you the indirect object. Understood, children? Once again, I'll repeat. Does the sentence have a direct object? The sentence must have a direct object in order to have an indirect object. So, children, in a sentence, there should be a direct object in order to have a indirect object. Alright. Then, indirect object, no, they will always get the answer of to whom. To whom are you speaking? I am speaking to Shweta is speaking to Ajay. So to whom Shweta is speaking? To Ajay. So you are getting the answer over there, to Ajay, to whom she is speaking. So that becomes an indirect object, children. To what? Alright. To what? Alright. Then for whom or for what was the action done? Alright. Now here when I say about action, So what are the action doing words we have learned, no children, in the previous classes? That is verb. Okay, all action doing words are called as verb. All right, these answer will give you the indirect object, children. The teacher gave a book, Arjun, a book. All right, read the sentences. Now let's see few sentences here. The teacher gave Arjun a book. All right. The old man told my sister a story. The king gave the soldier his sword. Now, study these sentences and put what and whom. Okay, you have to read this sentence and put what and whom after each verb. Okay, after each verb means each action. All right, you will get two different answers. Let's see what are those two different answers. Okay, the teacher gave, you can see in pink color, Arjun. Okay, so the teacher gave to whom? You are getting answer here, no? To whom? Whom is who? Arjun. So you write there Arjun. Then what? What teacher gave Arjun? Book. Alright. So you are getting the answer. What is book? Alright. The old man told whom? My sister. So it is sister. Then what? Story. Okay, what the old woman told? The old woman told story. Then the king gave the soldier his sword. The king gave whom? Soldier. What? Sword. So you got the answer for whom and what in the sentences. So the children, now let's see. Therefore, these sentences have two different objects. Now these sentences having two different objects. Yes or no? That is Arjun, that is whom, and what, that is book. Yes or no? So two different objects are there. We call one of these two objects. So we call one of these two objects the indirect object and the other direct object. Okay, children. So here listen carefully, children. Therefore, this sentences, which sentences we saw, no, Arjun and book. Yeah. So these sentences have two different objects. Arjun is one object and book was another object. We call one of these two objects the indirect object and the other the direct object. Okay, children. If you can put two before the noun. Alright, if you are able to put two before the noun. Noun, you know, name of a person, place, animal or thing. And if you are able to put two before the noun, that noun is a indirect object. Listen carefully, children, here. If you are able to put two, okay, in front of a noun, okay, that noun is the indirect object and the other noun is the direct object. Understood, children? Now in a sentence, there will be a sentence and if you are able to place two in front of a noun, so noun is the name of a person, place, animal or thing. Now if you are able to put two in front of a noun, that word or that what you can say object is an indirect object and the other object or other noun is a direct object. Understood, children? Now here you can see the teacher gave a book to Arjun. Okay, the teacher gave a book to Arjun. So Arjun is a noun. I am able to add two before Arjun. Okay, so Arjun becomes what, children? Indirect object and book will become direct object. Understood? You can see the table here below. Subject and predicate. The subject will be the teacher. Yes or no? The teacher is a subject and gave become verb. It's an action. Oh, yes or no? Then indirect object is what? Arjun. Why Arjun is indirect object? Because it is a noun and I am able to place two before a noun. So it becomes a indirect object and the direct object will be a book. Understood, children? Let's see the next sentence. The old woman told a story to my sister. Okay. So the subject is here the old man. Alright. Verb is told. Alright. The indirect object is what? My sister. because I'm able to add to my sister is the no. I'm able to add to before a noun. And direct object is a story. You got, children? Okay, let's see the next sentence. The king gave his sword to the soldier. The king becomes the subject. Gave become the verb. Indirect object is the soldier because I'm able to add there to before the noun. Okay. Then direct object is his sword. Okay, children. So you have understood what is indirect object and direct object. Yes or no, children? Now, pick out, here is an exercise in your textbook, children. Pick out the direct and indirect object in the sentences and write them under the right heading. So, you have got a heading at the right side, that is indirect object and direct object. So, you have to pick out the direct and indirect objects in the sentence and write them under the right heading. Okay. So, which is the indirect object, which is the direct object. Alright. The man offered the child a piece of bread. Okay. So, here of the man offered to the child. So, to the child. So, I'm able to add there to the child. So, child becomes what? Indirect object. And bread becomes direct object. Yes or no, children? Then the old woman told my sister a story. Alright. So sister to my sister. So sister becomes indirect object. Story become direct object. The headmaster promised the boy a holiday. Boys promise to the boys. Okay. So boys become indirect object. Holiday become direct object. Did the women give the dog any food? Okay, give to the dog. So, dog is a indirect object. Food is a direct object. So, you understood, children, this? So, please work out this exercise in your textbook itself. Alright, children? There is exercise 2 in your textbook. Now, rewrite each of the above sentences using to. You have to use to before one of the nouns. Begin like this. For example, one is done for you, children. The other exercise you will work out in your textbook. Okay, children? Alright. So, there is the man offered a piece of bread to the child. So, we are going to add to before the child. Alright. So, child will become what? Indirect object. And bread will become direct object. So, the remaining exercise you will work out, children. Understood? Read the sentence and you have to add to before one of a noun, and that noun will become indirect and the other noun will become direct object. Okay, children? I hope you have understood this. Children, with this, we come to an end of this session. I hope you have understood. Work out the exercises given in the textbook. With this note, I just take a leave from you all. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless you, children.